welcome back to my channel. The end of this year is getting closer and closer, and it's slowly time to start thinking of the upcoming year of 2021. And for me that means starting fresh with a brand new bullet journal setup. We have again a pretty good amount of trackers and other yearly spreads to create, so let's just get right into it. This year I'm using again one of the Archer&Olive notebook designs. I chose this beautiful dark green notebook with this gold leaf detail on the cover. The year 2020 was a really minimalistic year in my bullet journal, but after this year I'm really feeling the fresh new start vibes, so I'm doing my setup with some more decorative elements like washi tapes and stickers. But actually, even with all the extra decorations that I have here, this setup still felt like me and my style, which I'm really happy about. I'm starting this setup with a key page. For this page and well, for all the other pages, I went with this like scrapbooky style with some craft paper, grid washi tape and these random lines and circles. And since this was a pretty new style for me, I did look for some inspiration from Pinterest, and I saw a lot of people use this like thin block letter style. I really don't know what to call it, but I really loved how it looked, so I ended up using the same lettering style a lot in this setup. I also used the grid pattern as this like a repeating thing, which I feel like tied everything together pretty nicely. Next to the key page I did this like title page for the year. I drew this large grid and then wrote 2021 with the same block letter style on a separate paper and used a couple of strips of washi tape to attach it to the page. And I was really surprised how fun this page turned out, although it took me like 5 minutes to create. Before getting into all of the logs and trackers, I wanted to have a couple of pages just for journaling. I started with this 2020 review page where I just have 2020 written in the center with some craft paper and other simple decorations. The page was feeling just a bit too empty, so I decided to do this like double line border. I really liked how that style looked, so you're gonna see me use it a lot in these pages. Then I wrote some main things that I wanted to write about, like what I learned, what I'm proud of, what I want to change, and just some general reflection how my year was. And now that I think of it, this page could have been better to have in the last pages of my 2020 bullet journal, but it doesn't really matter, it's here now. The next page is pretty similar with the 2020 review, but this one is for the new year. I went with the same style with the header in the center and even did the borders the same way. On this page I will write down my visions for the new year and my thoughts on how it's going to be, and also I saved some space for the things that I dream of. Overall, this year I really want to start using my bullet journal for more than just an organized list of tasks, so creating these pages is a good start. To the bottom of this spread I also included this 2021 timeline, where I can write some major events that I want to remember after this year. In this timeline I only have the first 6 months, but if you're planning to have one journal for the whole year, you can change this up and add all the months. The next page is for my actual goals for the year. I tried this new system of setting goals in my previous notebook and I really liked it, so I did pretty much exactly the same thing here. So I divided my goals into 6 different sections and created one bar for each. The sections that I chose are career and business, art and hobbies, health and fitness, relationships, finances, and personal goals. All of the bars I split into smaller parts, and under each bar I will be writing down some smaller steps that will get me closer to my goals. And after I have reached one of the smaller goals of one specific section, I will color one of the smaller parts of that bar in. Next we have the future log that I use when I plan for the year. My future log is not usually that full, so I decided to have all the months on these 2 pages. Especially because this journal is only for the first 6 months, I thought I wouldn't need as much space for the last 6. For the monthly calendars, I used my own mini calendar stickers from my Etsy shop. If you're interested to get your hands on these handy little things, I have my shop linked to the description. A couple of months ago I ordered some Kraft sticker paper and I was planning to make these cute craft versions of my calendars, but unfortunately my cutting machine wasn't able to work with the sticker paper I got, so I can't really print anything on it. But I created these craft sticker sheets with different shapes that can be used as header or just as decorations. Moving on to my health tracker, which is this like combined weight and exercise tracker. After this whole year of staying inside, I want to concentrate more on taking care of my health and trying to make exercising a normal everyday routine, and you know, I love to track everything. On the left side I have weight, and then on the right side I have number of exercises. So the weight part here is going to be this like line graph, and then the number of exercises that week is a bar, which height depends on the amount of exercises I do that week. Next to this one I set up a running log page. For 2021 I chose running to be this main exercise that I want to start doing, and I felt it could be a good choice because even if the whole world would close again, I would still be able to run. So yeah, this is pretty basic tracker, and if you're not into running or sports in general, you could use this layout to track progress in anything really. Weight loss, savings, or even as a countdown for something. I added just a few decorations and moved on to my when did I last page. And this page might be one of the most useful spreads that I have in my whole journal. So on this page I will have all the tasks that I need to do every week, or once in 2 weeks, or maybe once a month. And then I have all the weeks horizontally on top of the page. And when I do one of my tasks from this page, I mark a dot under that week. And every time I look at this page, I'm able to see really quickly when was the last time I did something, and also when I plan my tasks for the upcoming week, I can look at this page and see that it has been like a month since I cleaned something, so that task should probably be on my weekly to-do list as well. The page next to this is pretty self-explanatory. In my last journal, I felt like I was missing a page where I can collect some good meal prep ideas, so that is exactly what this page is for. So if you have any good recipes or ideas for a lunch, let me know in the comments. I'd love to get some new healthy ideas for the new year. Moving on to this milestone spread. I've been using a bullet journal for a few years now, but last year was when I started to make these videos and share my spreads with you. As I'm recording this voiceover, I have a little over 11,000 of you lovely subscribed to my channel, which feels still so crazy. So I just wanted to take this time to thank you all for your support on my channel. It makes me so happy every time someone tells me that my creations inspire them to try something new or even start bullet journaling. So I just wanted to let you know that I'm so thankful for all of you. Around this main tracker, I had some space for my YouTube, Insta and Etsy ideas. The space is pretty small, but I can always create some new pages whenever I need to. I started to write the headers with the block letters, but I really didn't like the look. So I just wrote them on these pieces of paper instead and glued them on top. And this scrapbooky style is really convenient for hiding mistakes because that looks pretty intentional in my opinion. We are getting closer to the end of this setup, but we still have some financial trackers to create. I use this pretty intense system for budgeting and managing my finances, so the pages that I have here might not be for everyone, but maybe you can take some inspiration and tone it down a little bit for your own setup. I've made a video of how I use this system and I will link it to this video if you're curious to see how this works. I started with creating some space to plan my monthly and yearly budget. I have divided my expenses into these categories that are house and food, beauty and health, entertainment, and miscellaneous, and I'm going to do a own budget for each section. Then I have my yearly budget, which is for the expenses that I might not have every month, but I still know I need to include into my overall budget. Next to these, I have my yearly budget balance, where I can see how much of my yearly budget I have used and how much I still have left. I only have 6 months here because those are the months that I have in this bullet journal. Then I created this Dutch door and these like flaps for each month. I only did this monthly expense tracker for January because the other are basically the same. The only thing that is different are the week numbers. So here I have all the same 4 categories and also one for income. And I accidentally made one extra and covered that with some craft paper. It took me a while to write down all the weeks, but hey, it's done. I don't have to do it again before June. And the reason why I did these Dutch doors was that I wanted all of these pages to be on one spread, even though they're not really. But this way I'm always able to see the savings and depth bars that you see me create on the right side at this very moment. Just a couple of stickers and a random decoration, and we have arrived to the last 2 pages of this setup. On the left page I'm continuing my financial tracker section with a bills tracker. This is again one of those simple but functional pages where I track whether I have paid a bill or not, and also I like to write down how much the amount was. The last page of this setup is a wants and need page, and I'm hoping it will help me not to buy too many things and to really make me consider if I need a specific item or not. Overall, I'm so happy how all of these pages turned out, and call me crazy, but I still feel like this setup was pretty minimalistic even with all of the decorations. Let me know in the comments what did you think and what kind of style you're going with in your new setup. And here it is, the final flip through of my 2021 bullet journal setup. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!